So I wanted to do another Stranger Files video, and this has to do with Planet X. What I heard years ago about it, the other things that I heard when these things come to play, comets and all these other things will be seen, a whole bunch of them. So let's get started. So, going back to 2007, 2008, 2009, the years that I figured out a whole bunch of crazy shit. Now, what I heard, now this was really crazy because this is when I found out about the one and the prime true source creator and the net and the owls and all this crazy shit that was going on, the death realms and the everything. And when I heard about Planet X, before that, Planet X was always in the online. They talked about it, oh, Planet X, and they talked about it in the 50s. They said the 10th planet, or the unknown planet, is what they said. And it'll show up here at this point, and there's always been something in the conspiracy world about it. So when I actually heard about this, I thought, holy shit, there's something to this, when I figured out all this shit. But it wasn't anything what I thought it was. And no, it has nothing to do with Nibiru and none of that shit. This Planet X, which just stands for the unknown planet, and that's it. So how it goes is, what I heard was this planet was being sent into our solar system, or will be sent into our solar system, to rip this net open that this owl reptilian interdimensional race has put here. And I heard this planet because they needed a huge object to actually interfere with this technology and rip open this net. And this is what I heard the plan was when eventually the good guys get here and do all this shit. Now, that was really something to hear, and I heard more on it, that it was moving and it was getting closer, but there was some problems, of course, with the battling that I talk about between this good and evil, and so things were delayed. And of course, the Alder interdimensional race did something, I think, in 2012, and after that kind of delayed the process of this planet getting here. And I'm assuming it has to do with some sort of time thing that I talked about before in one of my other videos. So what I wanted to explain was the other things I heard when that would take place was there was a lot of comets coming in, like Comet Ison and these other weird comets that were coming in. And I was hearing that these weren't comets, these were actually something to do with this reptilian race that was moving these things around moving these objects around out there. And I heard that, though, what I heard was there'd be a string of comets and objects and asteroids and a whole bunch of crazy shit that would happen before Planet X got here, right? And I figured this might be a good time to mention it because of what's going on with Comet Atlas, or Atlas, 3i Atlas. I don't think it's a comet at all. That's not what I heard. I heard it's being towed in by something and another object that's towing it in. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that because there's no bloody information online barely about it right now because it's behind the sun and the government shut down and nobody's getting good images, but it has no tail. Wow, something really weird going on with that shit. And so I'm waiting on that. I said something would happen when it went by Mars, but of course we didn't get no fucking information on it because they didn't give us any information, so it's hidden. So I guess we're not going to find out about that just yet. So anyways, get back to it, these objects I heard in the past, when I heard of all this stuff that was going to take place, there would be a lot of comets and there'd be things seen in the sky coming in, possibly more meteors, I'm assuming, and more explosions that we would hear around the world would be unexplained. And that has to do with what I heard. It's in the other dimension, breaking through to this dimension. And it's similar to what they talked about years ago with the sky booms. And that's what that was. That's actually the battle going on. And this is just echoes rippling through the different dimensions. So it was some really crazy shit that I heard about, and that's all connected. Now, there was something else I got to remember. So the Planet X thing really got me because I made a few videos of last year, and it's probably down below if you look for it. And it has to do with the reason I made it, because when I was younger, I had this dream, and I dreamt of this large, huge red planet ripping up in the sky, and you could see that it tore like the sky open, and behind it you could see space with different galaxies and other weird shit that just we could not see otherwise. Almost made me think of it as coming through a portal. It was really weird. And when I made that video, I looked online and researched, and I found hundreds and hundreds of people that had this dream of this red planet showing up in the sky.
The late 50s about this thing out there in space, because here's this giant red planet.
And I couldn't even see the whole planet. I could only see like about a quarter of the planet.
And you couldn't see the whole planet. You could see maybe like 2/3 of it.
The red planet was approaching. It was very large.
It scared me because it looked like it was my business.
This black and red planet.
When I looked out the window, I looked up. Large, big, fiery planet.
I could see the ribbons of fire that are jumping off of this planet.
It was like orange red, but it was like smoking hot.
I just seen this big old fiery planet.
I see a big planet. I saw a red planet.
And it was nuts. Like the amount of people I found actually that had this dream was crazy. Very similar to mine. So I know that there's something going on there in the dreaming and the psychic intuitions of people picking up on this event that I'm assuming will take place in the future. I just don't know when, like I said, because of this battle, but things are supposed to play out this way. And I really hope they do, because I'm counting on the one to kick some ass. That's what I've been doing for the last many years now. So, and I hear about it every once in a while in the battle, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's delayed and some other stuff that's going on. So yeah, but Planet X, it's not a bad thing. From what I heard, it's a good thing, but they want to promote it to be a very bad thing, that there'll be earth changes if this ever happened, or there'd be a catastrophe and earthquakes all around the planet. And but the one thing I did hear about it would be that the earth would do a really big shake. The whole planet would shake just a little tiny bit, like a whole world earthquake at once, and break windows. I did hear that, right? Because of this immense, massive object coming in really close. So I just wanted to talk about that, let everybody know what I heard about it, and that don't think of it as a bad thing, it's a good thing. And I know nobody talks about it anymore because so many people talked about it, saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But they had bad source, bad info, or they were just bullshitting and trying to make videos on it, right? I don't talk about that shit all the time, but I thought this is the right time to actually mention what I know about it. And I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, because there was so many comments happening all at once, and there's more coming in, and all these things are happening, that maybe this is it. I could be totally wrong, but you never know. This could be it. So I'd like to give everybody a heads up on what I know. And if it doesn't happen, well, you know, you could say, well, Frank was wrong. And I'd be like, okay, I've been wrong many times, because these things that are delaying things, you know, future events are really hard to predict, even with how I do things, right? It's just, it will happen, but it gets delayed, right? But I just tell you what I know.